Hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening, and welcome to, well, some awesome games once again here on RSL SC2. This is the Rival StarCraft League round of 4, and we are going to really narrow things down here tonight because we're already in the prize pool section of this tournament, guys. That's right, man. Yesterday, we figured out who was going to get $75 guaranteed. That's the 4 players we're watching tonight, and now they're going to battle it out for the remainder of the prize pool, and then tomorrow will culminate into a finals match. So this is really important stuff here. This is win or go home. Well, actually, this is an online tournament, so everybody's home, but still, you win and you move on. You lose and you're done. So let's talk about the players who are involved tonight. We do have Acer from Team Acer. It is Bly. He's going to be facing off in the first match against PiLiPiLi from Red Bloods. So that's going to be a pretty interesting ZVP to keep an eye out for. And then we are going to have a couple of teammates face off against each other. And really, that's going to be competitive because from what I've heard, they don't even like each other. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be Brawl Esports Zeal versus KiToO. So we saw those two guys win their respective matches yesterday. And then on Thursday, Bly and PiLiPiLi had made it into the round of 4. So tonight, we are going to see these 4 players face off. Right now, Bly and PiLiPiLi are currently working on vetoes. And we're going to see what maps will end up being for the initial games. But yes, guys, I am Droopy here, and I am glad to be back with you guys once more to cast this awesome event hosted by Rival Gaming, and as well sponsored in part by Brawl Esports. It's a total of $600 for this prize pool, and there is a lot on the line for these guys. And it's really impressive to hear about this prize pool because this is the second season, and it's safe to say it's a nice upgrade from season 1. And looks like Rival is really continuing to try to develop this brand and this event. So coming out of NA, can't complain at all. So how does the prize pool break down? First place gets $225. Second place, $125. So the winners of the matches tonight will be splitting that $350 prize. But otherwise, everyone here is already guaranteed $75, and no one's going to leave this event empty-handed. All right, so we're about to get started with game number 1 here. Looks like the map is going to be Vonnie Research Station. So I do always like to say how much Terrans love this map, but it's not going to be an issue here because there are no Terrans, not even in this round of 4. Everyone in this round of 4 is Zerg or Protoss. And indeed, for this game number 1, this first series, it's going to be a ZVP. So we're going to get right into it very shortly. Both players are already raced up and have their colors out and all that. And the format... Last night it was a best of 7 tonight, or sorry, last night was a best of 5, and tonight's a best of 5 as well. And tomorrow's final match is in fact going to be a best of 7. Now, one interesting thing about these 2 players is one is in EU, one is in NA, so is there going to be a lag factor involved? That's always something to keep an eye out for. But for now, let's keep that eye out for who's playing where. So on Vonnie Research Station, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the very bottom is going to be the Red Zerg player representing Acer Esports, guys. This is Bly. And at the very top of the map is going to be the blue Protoss player playing for Red Bloods. It is PiLiPiLi. So as far as talking about, which player here is going to be favored or whatnot, I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be the player on the bottom here, the Zerg, playing for Team Acer for quite a while now. He's been a top flight EU level player. He's been premier before on that server, and coming out of the Ukraine, Bly is definitely a fearsome player. And one thing that is always so cool about him is that there is no online cup or tournament or something that is that he's above playing, and he doesn't feel like any of these tournaments are just not worth his time because only low level players compared to him play, or the prize pool is not big enough. No, this guy will take advantage of every moment, and he just wants to compete, man. So we see him in all those ESL weeklies, Team Gravity Fight Nights, RSL, as you see here, and he is looking to grab a nice chunk of that prize pool. On the other hand, for PiLiPiLi, he's been, a top-level GM player on NA for many seasons now. Recently has tried to refine his game by playing a little more macro-oriented. So, PiLiPiLi has always had a reputation of just being very all-in, playing kind of on two base, sticking with that comfort zone. And then, I've casted him many times in the past, and a lot of times I would start off cast by saying, hey, this guy, he's probably going to do some kind of two-base blink timing, maybe throw down a third just for, kicks. But in the long run, he doesn't really care too much about playing beyond, the initial stalker all-in, right? But I don't say that these days about him. He has tried to change it up and take his game to the next level. And I do expect to see something along those lines again in this series. So let's take a look at what these players are doing. PiLiPiLi has done a gateway expansion, taken the natural in, the in-base natural. Looking at Bly, opened up gasless here. He started off with the pool. Hasn't quite taken any gas yet. Going to be delaying at a minimum that speed. And we see a Zealot in here from PiLiPiLi. Going to go after this Queen. Now, Queen can most certainly defeat a Zealot one-on-one. But Bly's going to have to micro that back, though. He can't just keep taking hits. Ooh, is Bly going to lose that drone? He does. So PiLiPiLi able to get that drone kill. I mean, is it an even trade? No, because this is one drone for one Zealot. But the idea here is to do some scouting. Oh, but look at this. Lings in the main base of PiLiPiLi. And that's kind of the idea when you open gasless. You have to spend some of those extra minerals you mined to do a little map control, do a little harassment. That's what Bly is doing here. And PiLiPiLi, having sent his Zealot so far away, it died, of course. Now it's not home to defend against this. And look at all this probe micro that PiLiPiLi is going to have to do. And to his credit, he hasn't lost anything yet, but he's lost some mining time. And this pylon has been severely weakened, very much in risk of being taken out. And we see here Bly just having a field day right now. Again, not necessarily killing things, but just bothering the heck out of PiLiPiLi as he's struggling to get out the Stalker. It's going to pop soon, but look, every single Ling here is still alive. The initial 4 were in red health, 3 of them, and now they've actually regenerated to orange. But I think PiLiPiLi here is going to be... He's going to stabilize here. He's got the Stalker out now. He's even transferring some probes over to the natural. He's been wanting to do that because he's been oversaturated. Now we have Bly just being so annoying with his Lings, splitting them, knowing that, okay, you have one Stalker, but what are you going to do here? He's even left a Ling here. I don't even know if PiLiPiLi realizes that a Ling has been left here because he's not sending the Stalker after it. But then again, there's only one place a Stalker can be at a time, so he's going to chase those 2 Lings all the way outside. Bly's got his 3rd now, just using those Lings to buy himself so much time, obviously, to get out the economy, the expansions and whatnot. He has, of course, taken his gas since. Hasn't started speed just yet. And you know what? You've just bothered your opponent so much, delayed so much mining. You can afford to just kind of get some few more drones out. You don't need to feel like you necessarily need to rush out any units or anything because PiLiPiLi still ways away from doing a legitimate harassment. Although this Stalker right here may actually kill this Queen. Some drones being pulled. PiLiPiLi just trying to focus it down. He should get it. He really should get it. The Queen's trying to run for its life, but it will die here. And the Stalker needs to be able to escape, though, to make that worthwhile. And PiLiPiLi will be able to accomplish that. But yes, PiLiPiLi has since been going with Stargate here as his form of harassment. Got an Oracle coming out, and I have to say, Bly has been in vision of this really for a very long time. And I don't know why PiLiPiLi microed the Oracle to the Overlord. Maybe, that's, I guess it could just be a reflex. Protoss player, maybe if their first unit was a Phoenix, you just rally to that first Overlord you see. But Oracle going there, not really doing all that much. But yeah, I think Bly sees all of it. He's fully aware of what's happening. Yeah, a couple more gateways, a couple more Stargates in the back. That's That's a lot of Stargates. That's 3 in total for PiLiPiLi. But he's still on 2 bases, and if he really wants to go ahead and start cranking out mass Stargate units en masse, at some point we're going to have to see him take an additional base here, because he's not going to get in like a 2-base timing attack or anything of the sort within the next minute or two, and it's going to be expensive to try to support 3 Stargates. So we'll see what PiLiPiLi will do next. As far as Bly, does he know about this? That's kind of the key here, and right now he doesn't quite see it, that there are those additional Stargates. He just knows that PiLiPiLi is still on 2-base, and curious as to if he's going to see some kind of 2-base timing. But now, of course, he just got the 3rd, and Bly is just going to go ahead and take that information to decide to... He went with Hydra already. It could have been his strategy. Let's take a look at these Lings actually going in there, surrounding... Oh, now he sees 3 Oracles. Now Bly is wondering, okay, you have 3 Oracles, my friend, so... What is happening here? Oh my gosh! Even if he didn't see those 2 extra Stargates, sees the Void Ray. If it wasn't obvious enough, then it clearly is now. He's going with Hydraling here as his composition, and it's just as well. Now the key for Bly, of course, is to just start cranking out units like crazy. Now he's on 60 drones. Looks like he's going to cut it. He's also throwing down a lot of spores at every base. But the idea here is to get out a lot of Hydras, get those minimal upgrades you need, like the grooved spines for that range, and then you go for one big timing push to really try to do damage to the tops before they can get up that 3-base economy and really start cranking out a lot of units. You have to catch them at that right window as Zerg. Otherwise, Hydras, at some point, they're going to be overpowered by Mass Void Ray, which does appear to be what PiLiPiLi is going for. So if I were Bly, I'd just get those upgrades. And he doesn't have Evolution Chambers doing anything right now for him either. So that's kind of a little bit risky now. I mean, he's going to be going in with naked Hydras or severely delayed to the point where PiLiPiLi will get out a lot of air units. So we'll see what Bly will do here, as he is facing 4 Oracles. Oh, these Oracles from PiLiPiLi are just stuck here. Oh my goodness, that was... not right. That was really not right there from PiLiPiLi. Just a momentary lapse of judgment, of control, and all 4 Oracles die without accomplishing anything. Well, as far as Bly is concerned, that's a good time to make a push. So he's going to go over here. The upgrade of choice is going to be Muscular Augments for increased movement off creep. He's going to head on over here, PiLiPiLi, right now, without all those Oracles. And the thing is, Oracles actually can do well against Hydra as long as they don't easily get targeted down, because they do extra damage to life, which Hydras are. But now we're going to see just Void Rays against Hydras, and Lings arriving as well. So Bly just threatening PiLiPiLi here, but not quite pushing in because of the Photon Overcharge. Now looks like he's going to come in. No, he's going to back off. Loses a few units there in his indecision. There's a lot of cannons here at the 3rd as well, so certainly PiLiPiLi can fall back on those to help him fight. And Bly not quite finding an opening just yet to move in. Now looks like he's going to commit a little bit, moving forward right now. But still, all the static defense is making things tricky for the Zerg to actually commit to an engagement. Oh, the Lings trying to sneak in. They do. The Warpins from PiLiPiLi could not quite block the hole. And now Bly, at the very least, is going to just draw some units back into the main base, as PiLiPiLi is going to have to try to defend that natural. Now PiLiPiLi is his attention split. He accidentally let his army move forward a bit there, which he was very careful to not do. And now he's going to rely on one Void Ray as well as a Zealot. He knows that if he pulls his whole army in here to try to defend this, that 3rd is going to be in a lot of trouble. And now this Cybernetics core is going to be in a lot of trouble. Ooh, Bly almost focusing it down. Trying to trade with the Void Rays as well. He's going to be able to take out the Mothership core. That's a good pick off there. No Photon Overcharges for a while. And he gets the Cybernetics core as well. So Bly here starting to whittle away here at PiLiPiLi. And this one pesky Ling is actually getting some kills too. So PiLiPiLi finding himself a little bit on edge here in the mid game. But he's still adding to his Void Ray count. Nothing has deterred that just yet. He's mining pretty well on 3 base. 61 workers in total. Taking a look at the number of workers killed. Yeah, Bly's killed quite a bit. 18 in total with the Ling run-bys. But for PiLiPiLi to be on 61, that kind of shows you how many workers he's made this game. Now Bly is trying to go around the backside here and attack from this angle where there aren't cannons. taking out the gas, of course, a critical thing. And now we're going to see PiLiPiLi go and attack the army of Bly. He's feeling confident with the number of Void Rays he has, and rightfully so. The funny thing, though, is he's activated the extra charge, which really doesn't do all too much against Hydras. It only works against armor, but nonetheless, these Hydras are sent running back now. So that's kind of what happens if you go Hydra on Void. Eventually, there's going to be a critical number of Voids where just massing Hydra is not going to cut it. And especially when you don't get upgrades, Bly right now still has yet to start any Evolution Chamber upgrades for his ground units. He's got nothing going on in that department. He's actually going to upgrade at his Spire instead. And perhaps in his mind, he wants to, you know, go with Hydras for now, get close to max on that, then trade with the Protoss, and then do some kind of a Sky Zerg switch. But the question is can he trade evenly? Because if you look at PiLiPiLi and he's the one left with units on the field, that's not going to give Bly time to transition and get that bank to transition into Sky Zerg and max on it. So I think here Bly is going to rely on fighting next to Spore. So it's his turn now to sort of fall back on static defense and rely on that to help him out. PiLiPiLi here getting aggressive, pushing forward these Void Rays. The Zealots were serving as a bit of a tank, a meat shield there, but they all die very quickly. Now PiLiPiLi is running in. These Hydras so quick with that off-creep upgrade. They're going to snipe a Void Ray. Second one may get away. It's going to be close. But Bly is going to continue pushing here. Void Rays are just a tad bit slower than these Hydras, as you can see. And, ooh, potentially another 2 Void Rays that have been taken out. Oh, these Lings are going to sneak into PiLiPiLi's base. They have made their way in here. No block at that ramp, even though the Cybernetics Core was rebuilt. And oh my gosh, Lings are being split right now. This is going to cause a lot of trouble for the mining of PiLiPiLi right now. Look at the workers killed, 25 in total. Main base has been defended. The natural, though, still a bit of a struggle as PiLiPiLi is trying to clear out those Lings. But he should have a handle on it. He's not losing too many more workers in all of this. And Bly still trying to stay annoying here as much as he can. But he's going to back off now with those Hydras. And starting to add on 5 Mutas at the moment. Getting Parapis upgrade for Mutas as well. So clearly the end game for Bly is to go Sky Zerg. That's as plain to see. Because he's sinking all his resources into upgrading that. One Spire, not double Spire, but he is continuing to upgrade those Sky Zerg units, but nothing on the ground. Absolutely nothing. So he wants to bank up here as much as he can, trade off those Hydras, then remax on Muta, and maybe some Corruptors if there are Void Rays left over. But he needs more gas. That's kind of the key here. So he's going to just wait on that a little bit. And he does have a decent number of Mutas now that he can use to harass and buy himself extra time to increase that bank a little more. And look at this. No defenses here against the air for PiLiPiLi. He didn't see this coming. He had no idea that he was going to face Mutas. Otherwise, you would have seen some defenses here. Some Phoenix. Oh, man. Every single probe taken out. And we're going to see these gateways get shut down, too, as PiLiPiLi is going to consider going for a base trade here. He's not going home to defend. He's got some high Templars here to do storming. Oh, they do storm on top of those Hydras, and the Hydras, no upgrades, of course, also being light units, are just going to get wiped out by the storms, and now the clock is counting here for Bly to remax on Muta. Does he have the resources to make it happen? He's making 15 right now. He's on 144 supply. He's going to at least see 1, if not 2 bases get taken out, though. But PiLiPiLi suffering a similar fate right now. He is seeing his main base get ravaged. So it's a base race almost at this point. It truly is. Nobody wants to go home at the moment to defend their assets here. PiLiPiLi is warping in some units at home, but not nearly enough to handle this mess. 1 Archon, not going to cut it. Archons are great against Mutas, but not in this number. And we're going to see this 3rd base kind of get poked out, of course. Kind of tricky business for Bly because of all the cannons. And now PiLiPiLi is continuing to push forward here. We're seeing Bly now put up a base at the gold base on PiLiPiLi's side of the map, just in case it comes down to it in this base race. All the cannons are out. We see PiLiPiLi trying to make some Phoenix, but just not enough time. Just not getting enough of them. And that's why we're seeing Bly just ravage that 3rd. PiLiPiLi continuing to push forward, sending some Zealots over to that 3rd or that gold base. This is actually his 4th, if not 5th base. Forget which order these were built in, but Zealot is here. All these Overseers can't do anything but watch, and we're going to see this round by the drones. But PiLiPiLi knows where his next destination is. now we're seeing really this base race winding down. Now, it does look like at the moment PiLiPiLi has a few more buildings, and the DPS is in his favor, right? Which is critical, of course, when we're talking about racing to destroy your opponent's stuff. But the tricky part is that Bly is flush with a lot more resources. You can see him building 2 bases on the north side of this map. That's more ground for PiLiPiLi to cover, despite the fact that he does have a better capability of taking out buildings at this point in time. So it's going to get tricky. It always is in base races. Lings have made their way into the natural once more. Bly just A-moving and trying to finish off the buildings as quickly as he can. PiLiPiLi now is going to move forward with the Void Rays. I think he wants to... He feels like he might need to engage. He might go ahead and take out his base first. Oh, he doesn't move on those Hydras now. He does. I was about to say, is he just going to move command past those mutas? I meant to say mutas, not Hydras, but... Well, let's see. PiLiPiLi, things are winding down for him. He knows he doesn't have the mobility of the mutas, so he has to bring all these Void Rays over here to try to defend this. Of course, they're slower. Much slower, in fact, than mutas. And the mutas are going to be able to just sort of avoid this battle as much as they can. Ooh, Storm, though, can always help zone the mutas, but that one didn't quite land the way he needed to. So, well, this is kind of a tough spot for Protoss, right? And the reason I say this is because we all know where the Protoss buildings are, including Bly. Ooh, chooses to engage there for a moment. Not the best move from Bly. He absolutely cannot engage this Void Ray army. There's just simply no way. He's out-upgraded. He's out-supplied. He does that, and he throws away the game. 100%. But, as I'm saying, look, he's trying to lure away PiLiPiLi from those buildings. But PiLiPiLi knows that that's kind of the case too. That's why he's going back now. He knows he cannot venture too far away from his buildings, because if Bly pokes at them continuously, he will take them out, and PiLiPiLi will be left holding the bag. But right now, yeah, we see those Lings sniping off some of those buildings left in the main. And that's the other thing too, is if PiLiPiLi gets lured outside by those mutants and keeps chasing him, even the Lings can go into the natural and do damage. So, but if Bly cannot, you know, very suavely get PiLiPiLi out of his base, oh, he is right now. PiLiPiLi, his Void Rays are out. PiLiPiLi, he thinks he knows the. I mean, this is so dangerous for him. He's not going home to defend. He's gonna just take a few of those Void Rays back. I don't even know if that's gonna be enough though. This is a lot of mutas in comparison, and at the very least, he can just target down the buildings. Oh, we're going to see PiLiPiLi now try to run out. He's rallied some extra Void Rays over. Bly's going to go after this. He thinks he can take it. I don't know about this, though, guys. 15 mutas in total. They're out-upgraded, and the Void Rays are being able to threaten those mutas. But in the meantime, I think Bly just wanted to run interference for the Lings on the ground, and PiLiPiLi loses the base race. GG, as Bly takes game number 1. Yeah, so I guess it was a calculated decision on the end there by Bly to just, yeah, I'm going to sacrifice quite a few mutas here, but I only have 2 buildings left anyways to kill. So I'll let the Lings soften them up while I distract the Void Rays a bit, then fly back immediately, finish them off. So, in fact, that was a good play by the Ukrainian Zerg. So, very nicely done. And you know what? At a bare minimum, even if Bly couldn't find a way to finish off those buildings, PiLiPiLi wasn't going to get anywhere just by sitting his Void Rays there, because of course Bly is going to try to, you know, rebuild on those 2 new bases, and we all know what will happen after that if PiLiPiLi isn't rebuilding himself. So, good play there by Bly, and we're going to head into game number 2 very shortly. It is going to be on Expedition Lost LE. So, another map that Zergs tend to have a bit of fun on, thanks to the backdoor entrance. We saw that yesterday, in fact, in the matchup between KiToO and Sonic. Although that was a ZVT, so